This is Brother Sharif with the Hour of Power. Go to Hour of Power Sharif Hamid on YouTube. Subscribe and share the channel so we can continue to lift the mind, body, and soul of our people. So this is a channel designed for social change and awareness in our community, particularly the Black and Latino community. It's not a religious channel, even though it has spirituality laced with it, but it's not a religious channel. However, this evening I may quote some things from scripture because of the topic, but it's not a religion class, it's not a theology class, it's not designed to push any religious beliefs on anyone, just trying to give us a broader perspective on different topics. So that's just a little precursor to, what we'll be talking about tonight. Tonight's topic is entitled, "This Generation of Youth Must Be from Another Planet. Disrespect of Parents, Elders, and Killing Each Other." It is at, and it's been at, an epidemic level of biblical proportions of what's going on with our youth. And it is time for us to take some level of responsibility for what's going on with our youth, but not only take responsibility, but for us to come up with some kind of solutions to solve this problem, because we can't afford to lose any more youth losing their lives in a spiritual way, in a moral way, and certainly not physically. And that's what's going on right before our eyes at an epidemic level. So before I get into that topic, in the name of God, the gracious, the merciful, we give him praise and thanks for his mercy and his goodness to the human family. If all the trees upon the earth were pens to write with, and if all the oceans were ink, and then another 7 oceans to add to its supply, the writing would still not be enough to explain the glory of God. For he's the exalted, all-powerful, all-wise. We confide in no other in our time of need, and we praise no other in our good fortune. We thank God for the Metu Neter, oracles, scriptures, and writings that came thousands of years before any organized religion. We thank him for Moses in the Torah, Jesus in the gospel, and Muhammad with the Quran. I greet you all in words of peace. Assalamu alaikum. So again, this is Brother Sharif with the Hour of Power with a very deep topic tonight. I'm not going to be long. Once again, I don't have any notes, just coming off the top of my head and speaking from my heart. And my heart is very heavy right now, because in this city here in PA, in York, young people are slaughtering each other like flies. And what's even more disturbing is the young people who are committing these acts of violence and terror against each other. A lot of them, one way or another, knowingly or unknowingly, are connected. They come from our generation, either children or grandchildren or cousins. This place ain't but so big. But even if it was the biggest city in the world, it would still be an atrocity, because it's black people killing black people. We are up against it enough. And we are out here slaughtering each other. And for what? Talking about my side of town, my block. You don't got nothing. The white man owns all of this. This is his for now, even though he's got it illegally. You don't own nothing. My side of town? What side of town? But these are young people that haven't been shown the way. And that's what's so disturbing about this, because they haven't been shown the way. How do we know? By their behavior, by their lack of respect for authority, their own parents and their elders. How do I know? I've said it a million times. I'm a therapist, a counselor, and a consultant in the school system. And I go into people's homes and give counseling and therapy. Hell, I was just in a home today and the boy beat up his mom. Face swollen. She couldn't go to work. She probably got a concussion. What? Beat up your mom? What? Marvin Gaye asked a good question. What's going on? Again, this ain't a religious class, a theology class, but the last time I checked, the scriptures, no matter where you come from, no matter what civilization or background you come from, you're supposed to honor your mother and your father, so your days will be long upon the land. In Proverbs 20:20, it says, if you curse your mother or your father, your lamp will be put out and you will be in utter darkness. Again, in Proverbs 20:20, it says, if you curse your mother or your father, your lamp will be put out and you will be in utter darkness. Well, hell, cussing out your mother and father seems to be the call of the day today. It is absolutely shameful the way I hear some of these youth talk to their parents and their grandparents. What has happened to us? If I even blinked or breathed wrong back in the day, it was lights out for me. Lucky I'm still here. But see, I knew not to try it. And many of us in my generation, the 70s babies, or a little bit before, a little bit after, we knew better. But what has happened to even some of us who have came up in that generation? What has happened to us? Some of the same people who came up in that generation that we had zero tolerance for disrespect. Now some of them are allowing their children and grandchildren to be disrespectful towards them or towards elders. Have you forgotten? It's not that long ago. My father, Sidney Howard, may he rest in peace. I'm still afraid of him, and he ain't even here anymore. Because I remember the discipline that he gave me, that he demanded of me. Now we got children disrespecting the way they speak to some of these youth, and shame on you if you allow your children, grandchildren, or whoever you're in charge of to speak to you that way, and if you don't demand them respect. And I know what the naysayers will say. Well, what goes on in my doors and at my house is my business. Wrong answer. You want to know why that's the wrong answer? Because since I counsel and give therapy to children and I'm in the classroom, the same narrative that some people are saying what goes on in my house is my business is not just your business, because now it's spilling over into the community and the classroom. We just had Dr. Vert on last night, and he bared witness to the disrespect and the misbehavior in the classroom. And I have seen it myself. I've been working with youth with behavior problems for at least 15 plus years now. And it's getting worse and worse. So it's not just your business. Because if they don't respect you, what makes you think they're going to respect Miss Johnson or Miss Jones or Mr. whoever in the classroom? So it's not just your business. It is a microcosm of what's going on in the house. Now it's spilling over in the classroom. Now the youth don't respect the teachers, don't respect elders, got elders shook. Back in the day, the neighbors used to be able to correct us. Now they like, man, I ain't saying nothing to that boy. Might get shot or something. So your lack of discipline at home, whatever has happened to some of us, it's spilling over into the community, and you get rid of what you don't value, meaning the murders and the bloodshed in the streets. It all boomerangs back to what is going on or not going on in the home. Letting youth play violent video games. It all boomerangs back to home. I think I can humbly say that I think I'm very well versed on history and what this country and Europeans have done to African people and black people. I think I have a pretty good grip on that. Check out some of my YouTube videos. So some of my conscious comrades have been getting a little chippy with me because I have been taking the direction of making us more responsible for our own actions, what's going on at home. I had a brother in Milwaukee come at me yesterday because another brother had told me about the suspension rates and the statistics of Durham, because I just moved here from Durham, North Carolina. And I quoted that yesterday with Dr. Vert. 1,358 black females were suspended in Durham, North Carolina in the calendar year 2016-2017, as compared to only 43 white females. 3,071 black males were suspended in the calendar year 2016-2017, as compared to only 140 white males. Absolutely ridiculous. But what about the behavior of our children, which comes from a lack of discipline at home? We had the 100-man read program last week. When I went into a particular school, I ain't going to say the school, the behavior was absolutely atrocious. Are we going to blame that on the white man? See, it's certain things that we don't really need from anyone to correct. We don't need a whole lot of money to correct our moral character and fiber. We don't need a lot of money from that. These children that are disrespectful, not respecting adults, not respecting others. Now I'm connecting this to some of the flack I've been catching from some of my quote-unquote conscious people that are saying that, are you now saying it's all our fault about the behavior of our children? But these children, follow me on this, these children that are being disrespectful, many of them, I can actually say a lot of them, have no real understanding or grasp of what systematic white supremacy is to even blame it on that of why they're misbehaving the way they are. Even some of their parents don't know because they're too busy watching Power and Empire and Housewives of Atlanta and a bunch of other foolishness on TV for them to really understand what systemic racism is. So how are they blaming it on that when they don't even know what it is? It is just plain ignorance. Now, of course, they set the stage for this. But it's certain things that we can correct. We can correct our moral character and behavior. We don't need money for that. A lot of it don't got, some of it don't got nothing to do with what's going on around us, because we control what's going on in our home for the most part. What about the manners? Is the white man telling your children to disrespect you? Is the white man making your children be disrespectful to elders?